The internet is in absolute chaos right now. Overnight, social media lit up with one claim that had fans, haters, and industry insiders all losing their minds. Lil Durk has been released from jail. Yeah, you heard that right. People were posting alleged sightings, fake mugshot updates, and even so-called exclusive videos that supposedly showed Lil Durk walking out of a federal detention center like it was the end of a movie. But here's the thing, none of it adds up. And the deeper you go, the messier it gets. Twitter Spaces erupted with heated debates. TikTokers rushed to break the news like they were CNN. Fan pages started counting down imaginary hours until his first live. Meanwhile, a few eagle-eyed users started pointing out inconsistencies, like how the release footage had a timestamp that didn't even match the date of the alleged hearing. Suspicious much? But it gets wilder. Anonymous insider accounts claimed that the release was actually part of a secret deal, while others swore it was a full-on misinformation campaign meant to distract from the explosive courtroom developments happening behind the scenes. And in the middle of all this, Lil Durk's team? Silent. No statements, no confirmations, just a void that made the rumors spread even faster. So what's real? What's fake? And who's behind this sudden wave of chaos? Because if there's one thing we've learned, it's that when rumors like this explode out of nowhere, someone, somewhere, benefits. Social media timelines were on fire. It all started with a single blurry video posted to a random Twitter account around 3:17 a.m. The clip, barely 14 seconds long, allegedly showed Lil Durk stepping out of a black SUV, flanked by two men in hoodies, before disappearing behind the doors of what looked like a recording studio. The caption simply read, "He's back, #DURK-free." Within minutes, the post had exploded. Retweets piled up, fan accounts began reposting, and TikTok edits using dramatic drill beats and prison gate sound effects spread like wildfire. What followed next felt less like a rumor and more like a digital wildfire. Multiple fake news accounts started sharing manipulated screenshots of legal documents, supposedly confirming his early release due to new developments in the case. Some went as far as photoshopping fake statements from the Illinois Department of Corrections. One image, which turned out to be entirely fabricated, claimed he had been granted temporary supervised release for security reasons. But in those first few hours, people didn't care if it was real or not, they wanted to believe it. Fans flooded comment sections with welcome home smirk messages, praying for an Instagram live that never came. Behind the scenes, confusion was just as intense. Blogs and entertainment pages scrambled to verify the claims, but ended up amplifying them instead. A popular gossip account posted, "Multiple unconfirmed sources are saying Lil Durk has been released early. We're waiting on official confirmation," which only poured more gasoline on the fire. Even verified accounts started asking questions, tagging lawyers and journalists for answers. By the time morning came, Durk released was trending at #1 in the US, but there was a catch that most people missed. The original video that set everything off didn't even match Lil Durk's current detention location. Internet detectives later found that the studio in the clip was actually from an old vlog shot in 2021. The SUV was the same vehicle seen in one of his previous music videos. It wasn't new footage at all, it was a cleverly clipped and re-uploaded moment, designed to spark chaos. Meanwhile, inside the courtroom, things were far from celebratory. According to insiders close to the legal proceedings, there had been no sudden hearing, no signed release papers, no motion granted. Lil Durk remained exactly where he had been for weeks. But the silence from his legal team gave the rumors oxygen. Instead of immediately shutting the story down, they stayed quiet, likely to avoid interfering with ongoing legal maneuvers. That silence was enough for the internet to write its own script. On TikTok, people were posting breaking news clips with voiceovers saying, Lil Durk just touched down in Chicago, using grainy footage of random men in airports. One video that hit nearly 2 million views showed a man with dreadlocks getting into a Sprinter van, except it wasn't Lil Durk. It was a fan cosplaying as him for attention. Twitter spaces were full of heated debates. "He's out, bro." "My cousin works near the courthouse," one user claimed, while another countered, "Cap, the paperwork isn't public yet." It was less about facts and more about whose version sounded more believable. Family members and close affiliates were suddenly dragged into the storm. A cousin of Lil Durk, who had made a cryptic Instagram story with the words, "It's up," was flooded with comments demanding clarity. Some thought it was a celebration of his release. Others speculated it was a coded message about legal progress. Either way, it became part of the rumor cycle. And then came the exclusive audio leaks. An anonymous page uploaded what they claimed was a recorded phone call between Lil Durk and a family member, allegedly from the night of his supposed release. In the audio, a man's voice that vaguely sounded like his could be heard saying, "We good. Tell him I'm on my way." The problem? The audio had been lifted from an old Instagram live from 2019. But once again, context didn't matter. Millions believed it was real. By late afternoon, mainstream hip-hop pages started picking up the story. Some were cautious, others reckless. One blog posted, "Breaking: Lil Durk reportedly released early amid legal shifts," racking up hundreds of thousands of likes before quietly deleting it hours later. Fans screenshotted everything, ensuring the rumor couldn't be erased. Even YouTube channels jumped on the wave, uploading "Durk is free?" conspiracy breakdowns filled with dramatic music and flashing exclusive banners, none of which had any verified facts. Meanwhile, inside his camp, sources whispered that some members were growing frustrated. One unnamed affiliate reportedly said, "This is exactly what we didn't want, people spreading stuff before anything's official. Now it's just chaos." Another insider claimed that some family members might have indirectly fueled the fire by posting celebratory messages without clarifying the context. Whether intentional or not, their silence allowed the narrative to spiral out of control. The emotional roller coaster for fans was intense. Some genuinely believed their idol had walked free and were planning online welcome home events. TikTok users scheduled live countdowns for his first post. Graphic designers rushed to make fake album covers titled "Back Outside." And when no official statement came, confusion turned into suspicion. "Why isn't he posting?" became the #1 question. People began spinning new theories: that he was released but under a gag order, that he was hiding to avoid paparazzi, that it was part of a bigger plan to drop surprise music. Then came the legal blogs. Late in the day, a well-known criminal justice reporter posted a thread clarifying that there had been no official court filings indicating any release. "I've checked the docket. There's nothing. This is a rumor," they wrote. But by then, the wildfire was out of control. For every person debunking the story, there were 10 doubling down on it, sharing grainy screenshots, voice notes, or cryptic posts as proof. The plot thickened even more when a fake press release started circulating. It looked official: logos, legal language, signatures, but upon closer inspection, the dates were mismatched and the signature belonged to a completely different case. The source? A fan-run Discord group that had been planning a viral stunt for weeks. According to a leaked chat, they orchestrated the release, rumored to test how fast rap media spreads lies. It worked better than they could have imagined. This wave of misinformation wasn't just some fan prank. It started to have real-world consequences. Outside the detention center, a group of fans reportedly gathered, holding "Welcome Home" smirk posters, expecting to see him walk out. Security had to disperse the crowd after hours of waiting in the cold. And rival fan bases? They seized the moment to mock his supporters, posting memes about people waiting outside for a ghost. Behind the scenes, Lil Durk's legal team was aware of the rumors, but made a calculated decision not to respond immediately. One source claimed, "The team doesn't want to play the internet's game. Anything they say could be twisted. They're waiting for the court's next move." This silence, though strategic, only made the conspiracy theories grow stronger. By nightfall, the story had gone global. International rap blogs translated the rumor into multiple languages. Hashtags like #DurkFree, #Smirkback, and #Release Confirmed trended worldwide. In less than 24 hours, what began as a single fake video had evolved into a full-blown media event, one that had both fans and journalists chasing shadows. The interesting part was how quickly misinformation mutated. One rumor claimed Lil Durk had been spotted at a studio in Atlanta. Another said he was recording a diss track for his rivals as a power move. Someone even claimed to have inside info that a surprise live concert was being planned to mark his comeback. All of it was fiction, but fiction spreads faster than fact. And this was just the beginning. Because as the night grew darker, more players began to step in, some with motives, some with agendas, and some simply looking to ride the wave for clout. The chaos was about to escalate even further. As the night dragged on and the rumor storm refused to die down, something unexpected happened. People who normally stayed silent began to talk. A handful of verified industry insiders, some who'd previously worked with Lil Durk, jumped into the conversation with cryptic tweets. One A&R executive posted, "If you know, you know. Tomorrow's gonna be wild." Another producer wrote, "All I'm saying is, paperwork don't hit the streets this fast." These vague messages sent fans into another frenzy. Comment sections filled with speculation. Was this confirmation? Denial? Or were these people just stirring the pot for attention? Meanwhile, within Lil Durk's own camp, tensions were brewing. According to whispers from insiders, a heated group chat erupted among his team. One manager allegedly snapped, "Y'all letting these blogs control the narrative. This is sloppy." Another fired back, "We can't stop the internet, man. If we say something, it makes it worse." Even family members were pulled into the chaos. A relative reportedly posted "Free the Voice" with a broken heart emoji on Instagram, which fans interpreted as confirmation of his release. Later, when the post was deleted, conspiracy theorists claimed it was evidence that someone forced them to stay quiet. Around 11 p.m., a fake exclusive interview began circulating on TikTok. A creator using an AI voice generator made it sound like Lil Durk himself was on a call saying, "I told y'all I'd be back before the year's over." The video racked up over 4 million views in a matter of hours. Other accounts stitched the clip, adding captions like, "This is crazy and they can't stop smirk." It didn't matter that the audio was fabricated, viewers wanted to believe. The internet was collectively writing its own comeback story. While all this chaos brewed online, the legal situation was far more static. Sources close to the courthouse revealed that no filings had been made and no sudden hearings were scheduled. But what really gave the rumor momentum was an odd coincidence. Earlier that day, a sealed hearing had indeed taken place in relation to Lil Durk's case. Though completely unrelated to his release, the timing was perfect fodder for conspiracy. The hearing was procedural, addressing witness testimony and evidence handling, but fans took sealed hearing and twisted it into secret release hearing. One blog even headlined, "Exclusive, Lil Durk's freedom decided behind closed doors." It wasn't true, but the headline alone spread like wildfire. Meanwhile, rival camps and industry critics were watching all of this unfold with glee. A few rival rappers posted laughing emojis on their stories, clearly mocking the hysteria. One even wrote, "Y'all really believe everything you see online? Clowns." This ignited fan wars, with Lil Durk supporters accusing rivals of jealousy and spreading lies to discredit his return. Twitter Spaces turned into battlegrounds. Fans debated everything from legal strategy to which rival label might be behind spreading fake info. The situation reached a boiling point when a local Chicago news station accidentally added fuel to the fire. During their late-night broadcast, a reporter mentioned, "There's been a lot of chatter online tonight about rapper Lil Durk's legal status. We're still working to confirm details." That single line, intended as neutral reporting, was clipped, reposted, and misrepresented as news station confirms Durk might be free. Within an hour, that clip had over 1 million views on Twitter alone. Inside his legal team, frustration was mounting. A source close to the defense claimed that a meeting was held that very night to discuss the chaos. Lawyers and PR managers debated whether to issue a statement. One lawyer reportedly said, "If we respond now, we look panicked. If we stay silent, we lose control of the story." A PR rep countered, "The story is already out of control. At least if we say something, we can steer it." But ultimately, they chose silence that only deepened the mystery. Then came the supposed jail call leaks. An Instagram page with a reputation for stirring up trouble posted an audio clip of someone claiming to be a correctional officer. The voice said, "Yeah, he was moved out earlier today. Big transfer. Folks around here talking about it." The clip, of course, was completely unverifiable, but people shared it like gospel. Commenters wrote things like, "Y'all heard it straight from the source," even though the source was anonymous and unverifiable. By 2 a.m., fan behavior crossed from online chaos to real-world action. Groups gathered outside 2 different courthouses, one in Chicago, one in Atlanta, because conflicting rumors placed Lil Durk in both states. One group even hired a local streamer to livestream his release for donations. Thousands tuned in to watch empty doors for hours. When nothing happened, the streamer shrugged and said, "Hey, if he walks out, I'll be the first to catch it." The absurdity didn't matter. Viewers treated it like a reality show finale. At the same time, certain journalists began pushing back. A respected court reporter tweeted, "This Lil Durk release story is fake. I've checked court records. No release, no hearing, nothing. Stop believing random TikToks." But her replies were flooded with fans calling her a hater, industry plant, and someone trying to cover it up. In the world of viral rumors, truth had become irrelevant. Interestingly, some members of Lil Durk's extended circle saw this as an opportunity. A lesser-known artist affiliated with his crew dropped a surprise single titled, "He's Back," with cover art showing a silhouette walking through prison gates. Fans interpreted it as an intentional signal that Durk was indeed free. The artist later admitted in a livestream that he just wanted to capitalize on the trending topic, but by then, the damage was done. His song trended on SoundCloud, and people claimed it was official confirmation. As the frenzy reached new heights, an entirely separate conspiracy theory emerged. Some claimed that Lil Durk was deliberately leaking this information himself to test loyalty within his circle. A viral TikTok theorist said, "Y'all don't get it. This isn't a rumor, it's a loyalty trap." Durk's team planted this to see who would talk. The video got millions of views, even though there was zero evidence to support the claim. But in the world of sensational rap news, all that mattered was how convincing it sounded. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, people close to Lil Durk were reportedly split. Some thought the rumors were harmless hype. Others believed the chaos could actually harm his legal strategy. One insider allegedly said, "The feds are watching everything. This kind of noise can complicate negotiations. They don't want to see circus energy around a serious case." There were even whispers that some family members had been warned to stop posting cryptic messages. By sunrise, the rumor had evolved so much that it barely resembled the original story. It was no longer, "Is Lil Durk free?" but "Why are they hiding the fact that he's free?" This shift from curiosity to suspicion made the narrative even stickier. Debunking became harder because fans now believed any denial was part of a cover-up. And just when things seemed like they couldn't get any more bizarre, a hacker group on Twitter claimed they had accessed court databases and found sealed documents proving his release. Of course, they provided no actual documents, just vague screenshots with blurred-out names and random codes. But the headline, "Hackers Expose Lil Durk Release Documents," was enough to send the rumor into another viral wave. It was no longer just a rumor, it had become a full-blown internet myth. The lines between reality, performance, and fan fiction blurred completely. And in the eye of the storm stood Lil Durk, silent, unseen, and if court records were to be believed, still very much behind bars. But to millions of fans scrolling their timelines, reality didn't matter. The legend of Durk's secret release had already taken on a life of its own. As the sun rose over Chicago and Atlanta, the internet refused to calm down. The rumor had matured overnight into a full-fledged cultural moment, one that had layers of conspiracy, misinformation, hype, and betrayal all tangled together. By now, even people completely unrelated to Lil Durk's fanbase were chiming in. Sports pages, gossip blogs, and lifestyle influencers were reposting clips with captions like, "If this is true, the game's about to change," as if his supposed release were some cinematic plot twist. Inside legal circles, however, the tone was far more serious. Lawyers who weren't even connected to the case began breaking it down on YouTube live streams. One criminal defense attorney explained, if Durk were actually released, there would be clear documentation, court records, bond agreements, something. You can't secretly release a federal inmate without a paper trail. But despite their logical explanations, the comments were flooded with viewers accusing them of being paid to lie. The conspiracy was now stronger than the facts. Back in Lil Durk's hometown, tensions rose outside his grandmother's house when a group of overzealous fans gathered, convinced he'd return there first. Neighbors called the police after hearing people shouting, "Free Durk," and blasting his music at 6 a.m. Police dispersed the crowd. But several live streamers caught the moment, framing it as police trying to hide Durk's return. One clip went viral on Instagram. Captioned, "They cleared us out right before he was about to pull up." There was no proof, just pure hype masquerading as evidence. Meanwhile, a surprising twist emerged from within the OTF circle. A lesser-known associate posted a series of cryptic tweets, including one that simply read, "Some of y'all talk too soon." This instantly became fuel for every theory imaginable. Fans claimed this was confirmation that someone leaked secret information about a release. Others thought it referred to betrayal within the camp. Either way, the tweet became a centerpiece in hundreds of fan videos, dissecting its meaning like it was part of a true crime documentary. As the legal day officially began, journalists flooded the Cook County Courthouse and the federal database portals, searching for any sign of a release. What they found instead was the opposite. Updated documents indicating that Lil Durk's next scheduled court date was still weeks away, and that no bond had been posted. But before reporters could push these facts out in an organized way, the misinformation machine struck again. A blog notorious for clickbait posted a headline that read, "Durk release blocked by last-minute deal inside sources." There were no inside sources, no evidence, just a headline designed to keep the chaos alive. And it worked. Inside Lil Durk's camp, pressure was mounting. His lawyers were frustrated, his PR team was split, and some family members were panicking. A source close to the situation claimed that one of his cousins confronted another over a leaked Instagram story, shouting, "You started this mess." Allegedly, the argument got so heated that others had to step in to keep it from escalating. This was no longer just an online story. It was causing real fractures among people close to him. Meanwhile, Rival bloggers and YouTubers seized the opportunity to stir the pot even further. A popular gossip channel uploaded a 20-minute investigation, claiming to have evidence of a private jet flight booked in Lil Durk's name. The reality? It was a flight booked by a random businessman with the same initials, but the screenshot was convincing enough to make people believe. Fans started tracking private jets online, sharing flight paths, and speculating which plane might be carrying him home. It became a bizarre scavenger hunt for a release that never happened. At the same time, TikTokers began splicing together old videos of Lil Durk walking out of buildings, adding captions like leaked release footage and using dramatic music to make it feel real. Millions watched these edits as if they were live news. Even people trying to debunk the story couldn't keep up with the volume of fake content being pumped out every hour. One fact-checking page wrote, "By the time we disprove one clip, 5 more pop up." This is how modern myths are made. As the day wore on, the pressure to respond became unavoidable. Sources close to the legal team revealed that Lil Durk's lawyers debated whether to issue an official statement to shut everything down. One lawyer allegedly said, "If we let this keep growing, the court might think we're encouraging it." Another argued, "If we speak, we give these rumors legitimacy." In the end, they opted for a short, carefully worded press release. Contrary to circulating rumors, Mr. Banks has not been released. No further comment will be made at this time. But by the time that statement dropped, the internet was too far gone. Fans flooded the comments calling it damage control, a lie to keep things quiet, or proof that the system is hiding something. The official statement was treated like another piece of the puzzle, not the end of the story. In fact, some fans began saying, if they had to say it, it must be true that he's out. Logic had left the building. As this was happening, certain opportunistic figures capitalized on the situation. Fake merch pages started selling "Welcome Home" smirk shirts, raking in thousands overnight. Scammers created fake GoFundMe pages to support Durk's legal costs, tricking unsuspecting fans into donating. One fake Twitter account posing as his lawyer gained over 100K followers in 24 hours by posting cryptic updates like, "He's in good spirits. Big announcement soon." The account was eventually suspended, but the damage was already done. What made this entire saga so intense was how believable it felt to fans who were already emotionally invested. Lil Durk had been silent for weeks, court details were sealed, and the hip-hop industry thrives on dramatic returns and plot twists. The idea of a surprise release fit the narrative too perfectly. It didn't matter if there was evidence, it felt right. And in today's digital age, that's often all it takes for a rumor to become truth. By late evening, the frenzy began to die down, not because people accepted the truth, but because the next rumor wave was already forming. Some accounts began claiming that Lil Durk would make a surprise appearance at an upcoming music festival, even though the lineup hadn't changed. Others claimed he'd gone underground and was planning his comeback in secret. The rumor had simply evolved, refusing to end, only shifting shape. In the end, what started as a single baseless claim turned into a full-scale narrative with characters, plot twists, villains, and heroes all crafted by the internet. The truth was clear. Lil Durk was still behind bars, but the myth of his sudden secret release had spread too far to be fully undone. For many, the legend was more exciting than reality. And in the world of viral rap news, that's often all it takes for a story to live forever. So here we are. After hours of unraveling rumors, leaked evidence, fake audio clips, live streams outside courthouses, and a social media frenzy that felt more like a Netflix crime thriller than real life. The truth? Lil Durk has not been released from jail. But the bigger story is how fast one rumor can explode into a cultural moment that millions believe without a single shred of real proof. This entire situation is a masterclass in how the internet builds myths. One tweet, one AI-generated clip, one misinterpreted headline. And suddenly, the entire world is convinced something massive has happened. Fans are fighting in comment sections, rival camps are mocking, insiders are tweeting cryptic messages, and scammers are cashing in. All while the person at the center of it, Lil Durk, remains silent. But here's where you come in. What do you think? Do you believe this was just a wild, baseless rumor that got out of control? Or do you think there might be something deeper going on behind the scenes? Is this just social media chaos? Or a carefully planted distraction? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear your theories, your takes, and your predictions, because this story clearly isn't over. And if you want the real updates, not the fake ones spreading like wildfire, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We'll keep breaking it all down, piece by piece, every time something new drops. Stay locked in, because in this world of rumors and rap politics, the truth always hits different. Truth always hits different.